Welcome to BizTalk. I'm Mikhail Raj. Today we talk on the infrastructure for internet in Malaysia. So Malaysia's second internet exchange, the Johor Bahru Internet Exchange, was launched just last month in September. And the question is, what exactly is an internet exchange? And furthermore, will an internet exchange actually lower internet costs? For the full details on BizTalk. Welcome back. Now remember, you can also watch us online, especially if you're on the go at www.bernama.com or via our Facebook page live. So to explain what an internet exchange is and to focus on the Johor Bahru Internet Exchange or JBIX, we have in the studio Mr. Wong. He is the Managing Director of Extreme Broadband Sidiran Berhad and the Chief Peering Officer of JBIX. We'll talk about what is a peering officer later. Welcome to BizTalk, Mr. Weng. How are you today?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me today,
okay,
Mike.
I want to go to the basics, you see, because this is quite a technical issue. First of all, I want to see what is an internet exchange and how does it work?
That's a very interesting question, Mike. Let's just say if you are using a Maxis mobile, okay, and your wife is using a DG line, so for you to exchange traffic with your wife, the two networks have to connect with one another, and there are so many network providers in Malaysia. So if all these network providers they have to have one connection to each others, you are talking about each one of them having to set up many connections. So all these will incur costs for each one of them. So now an internet exchange is actually is an infrastructure where all these networks can be connected to exchange traffic. So instead of having multiple connections to each others, so each one of the network only needs to have one connection to the internet exchange, and then they can use the internet exchange to reach out to every other networks. So hence saving costs. And with the saving in the operation costs, then they can pass the saving to the end users.
But then Malaysia already has an internet exchange, so why the need for a second exchange?
Well, there's actually a gap in the industry right now because the existing internet exchange in Malaysia, they have a certain membership requirement, for example, and they don't address certain segment in the market. For example, if you are a business and you do not have an MCMC license, you are not able to join the memberships.
I see.
In contrast, JBIX, we adopt an open policy. We do not restrict anybody to come and join us. So we don't even have a membership requirement. So as long as you have a need, you can come in and join the JBIX, and you can peer with all the networks within JBIX, and create mutual benefits for each other.
Because the understanding that I get is that you, rather than being a competitor, you complement the first internet exchange in Malaysia, right?
Yes, absolutely. And this is another point that I would like to stress, because the location that we are in, Johor Bahru, currently in Johor Bahru town, there isn't an internet exchange there. But Johor Bahru is a very crucial internet gateway in Malaysia, because there's the majority of Malaysian traffic are passing through Johor towards Singapore. So by having a gateway, by having an internet exchange located at the gateway town, everybody will get to benefit from it.
Okay, more on the JBIX. What are the industries that will benefit from JBIX? Basically, I'm asking you, who will be your clients?
Well, we open up to everybody. So basically, if you are a business who have many users in the internet, you can come in and join us, and then you can connect directly with all the eyeballs. Hence, improving on your online performance. If, for example, if you are a bank, who are operating an online banking business. You know, you need to reach out to many eyeballs all across Malaysia. You can come in to join us. By joining us, you can connect to all the networks that are connected to our internet exchange platform, and then you can cut through the intermediaries. So by doing that, you know, your online application performance will be greatly enhanced, and then you have a much more cost-effective method to reach all your end users.
There are two things in your selection of Johor Bahru for the location of the exchange, and the other thing is that how will the Johor Bahru Internet Exchange benefit Malaysian businesses if Singapore businesses can now easily enter a Malaysian domain?
Well, we have to look at the current business trend. I mean, in a globalized in a globalization of the digital economies, you know, there's no boundary anyway. So when you know the Singapore business does not need to have a presence in Malaysia, in order to do business in Malaysia. So you can't stop them anyway. So and by having them coming in and to participate in the JBIX, it will make JBIX, or rather Malaysia, a better telecommunication hub for the rest of the world.
It will make Malaysia a telco hub, but how will Malaysian consumers gain from the entry of regional telecommunication players from Singapore or Thailand or others via JBIX?
Oh, well, absolutely, it has a great impact. You think about it, if you have all these players coming in to connect into Malaysia, it will make Malaysia's a much more open platform for any players who like to come in and invest in, for example, data center business.
Indeed, a lot more to talk about. It's a really interesting thing. It's something that can be a little bit vague, but it's very important. I'm wondering whether you all will actually open up another exchange in Penang later because of the Central Business District. But a lot to talk about. I'll hold your thoughts, Mr. Weng. We'll take a short break and we'll be back after these messages. Stay with us.
You know what really happens to your mobile e-waste? Throwing them into the dustbin will only result in choking the landfills. Did you know that over 42 million mobile e-waste are not properly disposed of? And this amount will continue to grow. This will potentially cause toxic chemicals to seep into the ground. The environment will slowly be polluted, thus creating a multitude of health problems to us humans. Did you know that 90% of the materials used to make mobile phones and their accessories can be recovered and recycled? These can be reused to make anything and everything, including electrical goods. Well, the good news is MCMC has initiated a mobile e-waste campaign. MCMC, along with telecommunications companies, have set up collection areas for the public to safely dispose their mobile e-waste at participating outlets. With 72 outlets nationwide, including TM, U-Mobile, Maxis, Digi, Celcom and Altel, you can now dispose your e-waste easily and at your convenience. Join us to get 1 million recycled mobile e-waste for this campaign. Make a difference for a better world, better environment and better future. For more information, log on to mobileewaste.mcmc.gov.my. This initiative is brought to you by the Malaysian communications industry together with MCMC.
Gain insights from the people with the capacity to translate vision into reality. Interviews with corporate leaders at 8:30 p.m. Monday, only on BNC.
Welcome back. We are talking to Mr. Weng Wong. He is the Managing Director of Extreme Broadband and the Chief Peering Officer of Johor Bahru Internet Exchange, which was launched last month. Before I go into any questions, Mr. Weng, what is a Chief Peering Officer?
Now, let me explain a little bit about peering. Now, peering is actually the act of connecting all these networks within the JBIX. So it's actually the core activities of the JBIX. So my job there is to make sure that all the members are connected together and derive mutual benefit from each other.
I see.
This is my job there.
Okay,
so that's why I'm the chief peering officers there.
Okay, so I'm getting a lesson on Internet 101. Okay, so but the most important thing, you said that the Johor Bahru Internet Exchange will bring down the cost of Internet in Malaysia. So how will JBIX be able to do this?
Now, first of all, JBIX, we generate revenue by charging port charges. Any networks that connect to us, we have a monthly charges, which is the port charges. Now, our port charges, first of all, our port charges is one of the lowest in the regions.
Okay.
We benchmark against the largest exchange in the world, and our rate is among the lowest in the regions.
I see.
So that save a lot of money for for all the participants. Number two, by being in the internet exchange, you do not need to incur additional cross connect between the members. So the saving that you get will be tremendous. Because that will cut a lot of your operation costs just by connecting into the internet exchange. Now, lastly, we are giving out first 12 months free port charges.
Okay.
So anybody can connect into the JBIX without paying any fees until end of September 2019.
So, and after September 2019, what happens?
Well, we will start charging one of the lowest rate in the regions.
I see. I want to know what is the response been so far for the past 30 days since you launched this new service?
We have very great response from members from participants of multiple countries in the regions.
Okay.
So far we have 16 members who are very committed to sign up. So we are bringing them on board at the moment, and then we have players from Thailand, from Singapore, and then from US, from Europe. Okay. So so far the response has been really encouraging.
Okay, sounds fine, but one of the questions I want to ask you is that what are some of the hidden challenges that you face, because you are the second internet exchange in Malaysia, and I'm sure there are a lot of challenges you have to come through, you see. So what are some of the hidden challenges that you have to face,
I think the one of the biggest challenges that we face is we have to when we talk to content players, they will ask who are the eyeballs, what are the eyeballs that you have in the internet exchange. So, and then when you talk to an eyeball player, they will ask what are the content that you have in there. So it's sort of like a chicken and egg situations. But for us, I think we have the location of JBIX is very strategic enough that it can create value for all types of players. So we are very confident that over time, all these players will come in to join and make JBIX, the largest exchange in Malaysia.
Okay, you said the response is so good. Are there plans maybe to go to a different geographical location like Penang, maybe to set up a further exchange in time to come?
Well, if there is a need, we will be happy to do that. Yes.
Okay. So you have discussed with the government. I think one of the requirements that you want to do is to lower the internet cost and increase internet accessibility. So have you done both these objectives? Have you fulfilled both these objectives as far as the government's call is concerned? Now,
the way that we approach this is, we want to create a healthy connectivity ecosystems in Malaysia. So by bringing in players from Singapore and from the regional countries, we can create these connectivity ecosystems, and then along with it, we can make the market share, the market size a lot bigger. So with the bigger market size, everybody will benefit from it.
I see, but I understand the public plans to become a hub for regional traffic and content exchange for the Southeast Asian region. I think this is really ambitious, but can you take us through how will JBIX actually go about doing this?
Now, first of all, we have a different value proposition for different types of network providers. For example, for the OTT players, we have a value proposition to attract them to come up and set up a base in Johor Bahru. And then for regional players such as the players from Thailand or from the northern Indochina regions, by stopping by in JBIX, they can offload some of the traffic before the traffic goes to Singapore. So by doing that, they get to save. And then for domestic players, just by coming into JBIX, they can offload the traffic in JBIX. They do not have to offload the traffic to Singapore. Then that will help them save. So I think the main idea is JBIX has so much to offer for different from players from different verticals. So whether you are from OTT, you are from the regional players, you are from domestic players, or you're even the global ISP, there is something that JBIX has to offer to you.
What further benefits that Malaysian consumers can gain the entry of regional telcos? You talked about it earlier, but what are the other benefits that consumers can gain with the entry of regional telcos from Singapore or Thailand or any other country via JBIX?
Now, the way I see it is, with the regional players coming into JBIX, it can create a connectivity ecosystems, and with the connectivity ecosystems, then data centers can then prosper, because there is on the other side, there's also a very big industry, which is the data center industry, and they have a lot of space that they are waiting for people to come in to occupy. So with the connectivity ecosystems, that can help to grow that part of the business.
We'll talk about this later in the third segment. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at how Bursa Malaysia closed for the week and the Malaysian ringgit, and perhaps time permitting, we'll continue our discussion on the recently launched Johor Bahru Internet Exchange. Stay with us.
Anda ingin menjadi kaya, tetapi awas, terdapat banyak skim-skim pelaburan tidak sah di pasaran. Jika ragu-ragu, anda boleh jumpa kami untuk memahami formula TIPU. Apa itu TIPU? T, tidak akan rugi. I, indah khabar dari rupa. P, peluang hanya sekali. U, untung besar. Ingat dan berwaspada dengan formula TIPU ini. Untuk sebarang pertanyaan mengenai pasaran modal, anda boleh hubungi kami.
Anda sedang merancang untuk bercuti, jalan-jalan bersama keluarga? Saksikan program 1001 Destinasi Malaysiaku untuk paparan percutian yang boleh membantu anda memilih destinasi bercuti bersama keluarga dan taulan. Setiap hari Khamis pada pukul 8.30 malam di Bernama News Channel. Semuanya tentang anda.
Gerakan Kuasa Pengguna musim kedua kembali. Bersiaran sejak Rabu pukul 9 malam hanya di Bernama News Channel.
Nine-11 menampilkan pelbagai segmen menarik khas buat anda. Saksikan 9-11 setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat 9 pagi. Hanya di Bernama News Channel.
Welcome back. In this Biz Market segment, we take a look at how Bursa Malaysia closed today and also the Malaysian ringgit. According to report filed in by Bernama Economic Service, Bursa Malaysia ended in negative territory. Not so good news today, in line with Asian bourses, so we are not alone, on continued selling in selected heavyweights, in telcos, in utilities, consumer products, services and finance sectors across the board. So the KLCI declined 12.96 points to close at 1777.15 versus Thursday's close of 1790.11. Axiata, Petronas Gas, Petronas Dagangan RHB Bank continued and contributed quite a significant loss in the composite index. And scoreboard, there were losers overwhelmed gainers 639 to 265. 349 counters were unchanged, 621 untraded, and 17 others were suspended. So volume stood at 2.06 billion units, same as yesterday, but the value today was 1.89 billion ringgit compared to 2.45 billion ringgit yesterday. And Asian markets, including Bursa Malaysia, were in the red territory, dampened by the latest employment data in the United States. And private sector employment actually soared in September in the United States. And you'll ask me why it's bad news. Actually, it's good news for the people, but when you have more jobs, you have to pay more wages, and that means the wages, when the wages increase, there's pressure by the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates, and when you raise interest rates, loans become more expensive, and then you have less money to buy stocks. So costlier funds, and that has really impacted the market. So it could spark negative market sentiment regionally, at least for the next 2 months. And there was a report also which affected the market. It's almost the news on the technology hacks suggested that the trade friction between the US and China was likely to be prolonged. And according to a report, almost 30 major US companies, including Apple and Amazon, were hacked by spies from China. I want to ask you about the hacking, but a little bit on the ringgit. The ringgit closed almost unchanged against the US dollar today on marginal demand, thanks to the improvement in oil prices. Ringgit was slightly higher versus the greenback at 4.1440 versus 4.1450 on Thursday. And benchmark Brent crude was trading at above US $84 per barrel today. This was really good for the Malaysian economy, and the ringgit was traded mixed against other major currencies. Mr. Weng, I want to go back to a little bit on your opinion, because it's not really directed to the exchange today, but it's also you're part of the whole industry. What is your take on this hacking by these Chinese companies on these US companies?
Well, if you look at the activities, the chip was planted into the servers. Yeah. So it's not so much of a hacking, because the chip was planted when it shipped out from the factories. Okay. So, and it's interesting to say that, you know, that chip was actually meant to control the servers remotely. Yeah. Because this kind of a server was used by, you know, the likes of Amazon, who deploy like thousands or 30,000 of these servers in their networks. So for them, they want to remotely manage the servers easily. So that's why they deploy this chip. But not knowing that the chip has been compromised. And it's interesting to know that you know, you have all these you know, chips that are generating you know, funny traffic from the servers, and it's not being recognized by you know, Amazon. Yeah,
I see. It's a serious issue, because it actually will intensify the already ongoing trade war between the US and China. But I'm going back to the Johor Bahru Internet Exchange. How advantageous are internet exchange points to telecommunications providers? Have you got them all on board?
Well, the exchange is actually built for telecommunications company. So because they are the one who will primarily benefit from the exchange points. By connecting into it, they can exchange traffic easily, you know, and they can enhance you know, their speed and performance to all their end users. So for all intent and purposes, you know, the exchange is built for them.
I see. So actually, the other thing is that your location in JB, what does it mean to Malaysia?
It's important to note that JB is a very important gateway for a big portion of Malaysian traffic, because whether you like it or not, Singapore is the telco hub of the regions. So most of Malaysians' traffic, or rather, you know, even traffic from Indochina's, they are passing through Malaysia to Singapore. So all these traffics have to pass through Johor Bahru. So having an internet exchange point over there can attract, you know, content to move from Singapore to Johor Bahru,
I see.
and then to meet the traffic that are coming from the north going to the south. So having JBIX in Johor Bahru will help both users, to reduce cost and improve on their performance.
Okay, Mr. Weng, thank you for the insight into the Johor Bahru Internet Exchange, and I wish you good luck in your endeavours, and I hope in the next 12 months you will get as many customers as possible.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Yeah, that's all the time we have for BizTalk today, and thank you, Marifair, for this gorgeous set. Until the next time, bye for now.